Today we will talk about the control flow function and closures. So let's first talk about the for-in loops. We already have this example in the programming practice. For-in loop is used to iterate over sequence. Is similar to for. This just show an example. So we need the limbs as the array. It's a string array. So in order to print out all of these elements, we can just use for in loop. So for name, that means for name will be each element in this array. Then in names, that means the array. So for each name in names, we do something. So see here, that will print out all of the cases. This is the second example. This example is a dictionary. So we have dictionary. The key is spider, the value is 8. When the key is enter, the value is 6. The key is cat, then the value is 4. So if we want to iterate over the whole dictionary, then we can use the for in loop. For animal name, then the value leg count in this dictionary. Then we print out the animal name, that means the key. Then also the leg count, that's the value. So spider has 8 legs. See here, okay. Then ant has 6, cat has 4. So if we print out them, they will show the result here. See you guys, when the printout is not follow the order, because dictionary is an unordered sequence. So when you print out the order, this show up will be randomly. If we print out next time, perhaps the order will be spider 8, cat 4, and 6. Print the third time, perhaps will be cat will be first. The cat have something, and the ants has something, then spider has something. So that's the order sequence and the difference between the order sequence and the unordered sequence. For the array, that's order sequence, but for a dictionary, it's unordered. Besides the for in loop, we also have while loop. While loop in C, you guys already know, we have 2 in C. One is while, the another is do while, that's in C. In Swift, we have while and repeat while. In fact, the repeat while is the same as do while in C. For the while, generally is first evaluate the condition. If the condition is true, then do the statements. But the repeat while is different. First, they will do. After that, they will evaluate the condition. For example, while, okay, the while is while condition, then first perform the evaluation. Whether they satisfy this condition or not. If satisfied, then do the statements. If not, they will just will not do. The repeat while loops is totally different. Okay, they will first do the statements once, then do the condition. That means first execute, then evaluate the condition. Let's see the 2 examples. We can find the difference. For example, this is while. Okay, if the I equal to 0, Okay, we see while I less equal to 5. Then see you guys, then I equal to what? I plus 1, then print I. So this one will totally print out first 0 plus 1, then print out 1. Then will become evaluate the condition again. 1 less than 5, then go on to 1 equal to 1 plus 1, then 2. So go on, you will find this will print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. If we here, if we use the repeat, okay, I equal to 0. That means also first not do the evaluate the condition. First do 1. Okay. For example, I equal to 0. First it will do I equal to 0 plus 1. Then print out 1. Okay. You will find this case also will print out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the first example. Let's see another example. Okay. For this example, you guys will see if I equal to 0. Okay. Then while I less than 0. See here, because this is I equal to 0. So I less than 0. That means it does not satisfy the condition. So this sentences, so they will print out nothing. However, let's see this one. If we use the repeat while, so I equal to 0, because we first need to exit once, so will be I equal to 0 plus 1. Then I will print will be 1. So the printout will be 1. After that, they will do the evaluation on the condition. Because 1 is more than 0, it's not less than 0. So they will stop here. But we already print once. But here, did not print anything. Okay, so that's the difference between the while and the repeat while. There is a condition statements, there is a if and a switch. For the if, I think you guys already know this is exactly same as C. If you guys, you can use if or else if or else. There are a bunch of flexibility. So I will not go the details for this one. But a switch is a little different from C. See here, switch is first, this part is the same as C. The switch, then some value to consider here, okay? If it's case 1, they will do something. Let's go back. So if it's value 2, then do something. So here they provide the entrance. That's the first thing. That's the same as C. The entrance. So if satisfies case 1, they will do this one. But it's a little different from C. Do you guys remember? If it's C here, generally you need to use a break. Okay, break, then we'll jump to the after the parentheses. Okay, after the curly. But we don't use the break here. They have the same as C. We use a break. So after you do the case 1, they will jump to the they will not go to case value 2, case value 3. They will directly go to after the curly. But if it's in C, if we don't use break here, after do the case 1, they will do case 2. Okay, that's different between Swift and C. So if you have two cases, you want to satisfy both of these cases. So we can put comma here. So for example, this value equal to value 2, then we'll do this one. Okay. Also, if the value to value 3, they also do this one. So that's you can put two different case to be 1. So the default is the same as C. If all of this cannot be satisfied, they will go to default. Okay, do something. After that, they can be jump here. So let's see the example. For example, this example, let some character, okay, that's the variable name. Then this is the type, that's character. This is the initialization. We put E to this some character. So switch here, that means some character. If it's the case A, E, I, O, U, that means they will print out it's a vowel. Okay. So if it's other case, see here, meaning B, C, A, D, A or something, they will print out it's a consonant. If the default, they will print it's not a vowel or a consonant. So in this case, because they are some character is E, so they will go to this case. Then we print out this one. That prints E is a vowel. Okay. So as we talk about in C, we need to use the break. If we don't use break, they will go through all of the case. In C, the case just provide at the interest point. For example, if it's not switch, they talk about if it's C here. In this case, they will case A, they found cannot do, then we'll go to case case A. After do the if there is no break here, they will go to default. That's C. However, in Swift, they're not. They not just provide the interest point, also provide the end point. For example, in this case, if case A, they will try to find let's do something here, but it did not find anything here after the lowercase a. There is a compile time error. Okay, that's different from C. If C, they will just go to case A, but in Swift, not. In Swift, there is error here, so we need to put something here. Okay, after do something, they will jump to the after the curly, not like C. If C, they will go through the every case. So sometimes in switched, also we can use the tuple as a case. For example, we define that some point tuple is 1, 1. Okay, so if we some point if is case is 0, 0, we print out this one. If the case is the second element is 0, the first one I don't care, can be anything. We print out this one. Also, sometimes the first element is 0, but the second one it can be anyone. We print something. Also, the case in tuple case can be a range of the value. For example, from this one it's -2 to to 2. Okay, the first element can be -2, -1, or 0, or 1, or 2. For the second, the same. Okay, so that's the benefit for the tuple. So this is very useful in the future. In our calculate demo, we will show why this is very useful. In fact, the switch can also bound the value of values is matched to some temporary constant of variables. So let's see this example. You will understand what does it mean. For example, let any point equal to, okay, then 0. That's a point. So switch any point. If case, okay, in this case, that means the second one is 0. The first one can be anything. Okay. In previously, this one can be used underscore here. Okay. However, if we put the letter X here, that means there will be false. The 2 will be assigned to X. Okay. Then you can use the X here. That means temporary assigned 2 in the X in this case. Okay. So in the case 0, then the second one I don't care. Perhaps it's big one. Okay. Or small one, I don't care. Can be anything. Then we print out this one. So in this case, also, we can assign something to the variable y. Then you can use the y in this statement. Okay. Also, we can use just the case let x, y. See here, that's been can be anything. We'll do this one. That means we are assigned 2p to x, assigned 0 to y. Then this will print out something 2 to 0. Okay. For switch also, we can use the where clause to check for additional conditions. That's also the different from C. Okay. So for example here, we have net yet another point equal to 1 negative 1. Okay. We use the switch here. Okay. Yet another point if the case x, y. Okay. We put things you guys see here. This one is just for the value boundary. However, they put the condition here. That should be x equal to y. Then do something. See here, this is a positive one, negative one. So it's not the case, this case. For the second one, do the same. First, we can do some value bounding. Assign the value to x, so assign this value to y. Then also we need to satisfy x equal to negative y. So see this case, 1, negative 1. Okay, that satisfies this case. So we will print out x, y. That will be x will print out 1 here. Y will print out as negative 1 here. So will be 1 negative 1 is on the line x equal to negative y. Okay. The same, the last case is for any cases. Okay. If they don't satisfy these two cases, we can print out. For example, it's 0, 1. That means we print out 0, 1. It's just some arbitrary points. So that's the where clause. I'm not sure if you guys do understand why we put backslash here and the parentheses here. That's do interpolation. Okay, this means the y will be replaced by the value of y. We taught this one in the first 2 classes. If you don't understand, try to go back. In fact, also in the Swift, we also have some control transfer statements, include continue, break, fall through, return slow. For this kind of thing, it's similar to C, but in Swift, we don't have Swift. We have special fall through. Let's understand how to use the fall through. So see here, because do you remember we last talked about case, just this case just provide the end entrance. Okay. Also they provide the end point. That means if we don't put the fall through here, remove the fall through. When you in this case, for example, integer to describe is 5. Okay. So Swift switch this case will be in case the 5 here. So in this case, they will do this one. After do this one, they will jump to after the curly. Then print out the description will be what? It will be a prime number also or something. Okay. Description. Okay. Jump to the comment. They will not do the add any integer there. Okay. That means the number is a prime number. 5 is a prime number. Just print out the first sentences. But if you want to put out the n, also it's an integer. Because we want to put, if you put a fall through here, that means after you execute these sentences, okay, the fall through, they will also execute default here. Okay. So default is description is equal to description plus an integer. So when you print out the description now, they will print out the number is 5 is a prime number and also integer. So print out both of these two things. If this is C, we don't put the fall through here. They also print the same thing. Okay. Besides these two themes, also we have labeled statements. Labeled statements is similar to if you guys know basic language, they also use label. C also, I remember, provide some labels. Labels, that means when you do some condition inside, then can jump to back to the label name. For example, you can use the continue label name. So after you execute some statement, then continue, they will go back to label name. Then you do this circle again. That's for label name. Another statement is guard statements. That's, I think, it's special for Swift. C does not have the guard statement. Guard statement is similar to if statement, but it execute statements depend on the Boolean value of expression. Guard always used with else. Okay, that's important. Always used with else. Let's see example. With this example, we define a function. A bound function we talk about next. Okay. For a function, you have keywords f, u, and c. That's different from the c. Then we have function name, greet. Great. Then also we have parameters. Parameter is the same meaning as c, but here the parameter is person. Then the type is a dictionary. Okay, it's string and 2-point string here. So, for example, guide net name equal to person name, okay, else return. That means if this one, if name equal to person name is satisfied the condition, then they will not execute else. But this, the first one is false, they will be execute else, will return. So it's similar to if let name equal to something, then print executed the whole will follow. Else they will just return. Okay. So if this one the same, this also have then not got late. Okay. Got let location equal to person location. Else print something, then return here. Okay. Then this is a print. Let's see how this works. For example, we write this great function. Okay, we call this function, put some dictionary inside. Just the dictionary has one element, name, then John. His name is John. Okay, so see here, name John. Okay, name is equal to person name. That means name will be John. So this will be true. So they will not execute else. Though this will be true, they execute this one. Print hello name. The hello John here. The second, guide let location equal to person location. In this location, you guys will see this is false because location does not exist in this dictionary. So this will false. False, that means they will execute inside. Okay, because we put else here. They will not execute this one. Then we print, I hope the weather is nice near you. So this will be, if the first one call this function will be print first prints hello John. Then print this one, prints I hope the weather is nice near you. However, if we call this function again, we put a dictionary name Jim and the location Cupertino. Okay, see here, you guys. Let's see here. Name Jane. So let name equal to person name. That's true because there is name and called Jane. So they will execute here. Print hello Jane. So print hello Jane here. However, the second one also is true. Guide let location equal to person location. In this case, see here we have location here. Location is the key. Okay, so this location will be capital. So they will not execute else. They will execute print. I hope the weather is nice in location. Okay, in capital. So that's the guard statement. Let's talk something about the function. As I just talked about now, function is Swift are similar to in C. Um, Generally, we have function has parameters. Parameters are placeholder for input to the function. Also, there are arguments. When you pass by, we talk about pass by the arguments to some function. Those arguments are the values passed to those parameters. Also, function in C, we know we can return the value or not return the value. So the Swift is the same, can return value or not return the value. Besides, also, as we talked just now, sometimes the function perhaps don't have to have parameters. Perhaps it just C we use something also can be don't need to input some parameters. Also return types. But in C, you guys remember if you use the return if there is no return types, you can put a void void there. So it means this function will not return any types. In fact, a function itself also has a type. That's a little different from C. We'll especially talk about this concept. The type of a function type is a combination of the parameter types and the return type. We will talk about later, okay? You also will know we can use the, because function has a type, that means you can use a function as parameters to a function. Also can be as a return value of function. That's also the difference from C. Let's see example in next, okay? Also, a function can return multiple values. For example, includes as a tuple. That's we say tuple is very important in Swift. Let's see this function. If you guys see here, as I just already talked, for function, it has keywords func called function. Okay, that's important. Then the function name gradient. So this is the parameters in the function. Okay, for example, this one, the first parameter is the type is int. The second one, the type is also int. So the parameters have two types. The first is parameter name. The second is type. The return is totally different from C. The return, we use the arrow here, okay? The return type will be string. So let's see here. We define the variable message equal to this one, okay? Then if the min is less than this one, with the message we call it this one. If the hours less than 12, we do this one. Then else inside also we put if else there. Okay. Last one, because the return we have return is the string. So this when you return message. Message here also is a string. Okay. So that is the function return greeting. There is no big difference between C and Swift function. The only thing is how to write this the format. Okay, first is function, function name, parameters, return type. Okay, also we put the arrow here. That's difference from C. See here, also we talk about function can return a tuple. That's very interesting. For example, we have a function. It's called easy. Then the type, the input parameter is st. The type is string of. Then the return, okay, return, put arrow, return is a tuple. Okay, return two things. One is es will be integer type. gs also integer type. So that return a tuple. So let's see here. We define the variable es equal to 0. gs also equal to 0. Then for anything in the st. Then we, if satisfy this one, then we es plus plus. If ch equal to z, then do something. Then finally, what we return? We return is the tube. Okay, return the tube. So tube also, this is the same type. In fact, tube can be returned different type. For example, es can be a double, gs can be a integer. Also, we can return. That's make the function very flexible. In fact, for a function also it has external parameter names and internal parameter names. That's a little different from C. What does that mean? Let's see here, okay? See guys, here we define a function called triangle area, okay? See here, for the parameter, first parameters, we have two names. One is called the base, also the base called the base, okay? The type is double. In fact, base and the base, they are exactly the same things, but use base inside the function. But when you transfer the argument to the base, we use the base. The same for the second parameter, we'll have two names, height and the height, double. They have same meaning. Height, see here, they use inside function. But the height will be used outside. Let's see how this is, we know also how to use inside. So outside, how to use? See here, when you call this triangle area, we call the base 7.2, the height 9.2. Okay, that means this the base, this value, we call just transfer from outside. But when inside, this value will go to base. This value will go to height. So we return this one, okay, compute. So this called the external name, base called the internal name, or sometimes we call the local name, because it's in the local function. Also, there is another features in Swift. We call it validate parameters. Because you guys think about this one, sometimes a function can be accept more than one of parameters. But I don't know exactly how many parameters you want to use. So in this case, we can use the validate parameters. Let's see the example. You guys will be understand what does it mean. Okay. See here. We want to do some arithmetic mean. Okay. However, when you do the mean, that means I don't know how many numbers I want to do the average. Perhaps it's 1 or 10 or 100. They have the same type. However, I don't know exact numbers. What we can do? You can simple define, okay, the numbers, okay? For example, here, the numbers, then we could put a double here. Is type of this number is double. However, how to define this case? We can put a 3 point here. That means the numbers, the how many number I don't know. You can put any number here, okay? But there is some small mistake inside, okay? Because when I prepare, there is a mistake here, okay? So see here, first we want to do some sim, okay, some average. So the total average we can put 0 here. So for each, this one can be some. What does that mean? That means array. Okay, we can use for each, for number in numbers, then do the total number. then return the average. Okay, numbers dot count, that means will be return the numbers in the number of the numbers. Okay, how many in the numbers, the count of the numbers. So this is the function. Let's see how to call this function. See here, if we have 5 numbers, we can see arithmetic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. Also, we can be 3, okay? 3, 8.25, 18.75. Okay, that's good because these two input parameters, the number of the input parameters are different. This is 5, this is 3. Why we can do this one? Because we use the, oh man, there's some mistake here, okay? Okay, so that's the valadic number. We need to in the future we will found this one is very useful. Also, there is in-out parameters. Sometimes in C, you guys know there is a passed by value, passed by reference. The in-out parameters in Swift, that is passed by reference. But in order to guarantee a passed by reference, you must use the in-out keywords. If you don't use the in-out parameters, they will not pass by reference. They will just pass by value. That means the value will not be changed inside. See here. For example, we define a function here, A, okay, then B. See guys here, in this one, also we have an external outname here. But if we don't want to use the external, generally we use some underscore, okay? For the that's for the second parameters. For the first parameters, you don't need to use internal and outer external and internal. You can just use the internal and external the same. For this one, that means A is external, internal, and also external. In B, also some case, in the second parameter, also we can use just the internal and external the same. That's okay. But you want to mark it as an internal and external. But you don't want to use the external. You can put the underscore here. Okay. So see here, first we assigned A to a temporary A, then assigned the B value to A, then A value to B. That means after this one, A will to change the B, B into change the A. Okay, that means they will change. However, if we from the outside to do these things, if you don't put the in-out keywords here, the even you change the inside, outside they will not change. But you put I out, in out here, if inside change, they will affect the outside. Let's see here, okay? Sum int equal to 3, then this will equal to 107. So see here, when you pass by reference, they will need to put some empty sum here, okay? That's passed by reference means this was passed by reference. So in this case, if passed by reference, so sum int equal to 3, this is 107. After you call this function, sum int will become 107, and another int will become to 3. Okay, that's in-out parameters. However, if you don't use in-out keywords here, then you call this one. Even inside they change, but outside sum int will still 3, and other int will still 107. So we print out now they will change. Okay. Let's just stop here. Other things we can talk tomorrow. Okay.